which is their third trophy they've brought home in the regular season this year. Tonight, Taylorville will put all that behind them as they focus on T-Town, a team that is ranked in the top 3 in the state of Illinois for 2A schools. I believe they're actually second, if I'm not mistaken. Last time out against Modern Day, T-Town hit a floater from the free throw line to end up winning the game at the buzzer, picking up their 18th win of the season. That compares to Taylorville's 19 this season. Now joined by head coach Ryan Brown of the Taylorville Tornadoes. Coach Brown, these are the kind of games that you get excited for as a coach. Two teams, you guys 19 wins, they have 18 wins. 5 losses combined between the two teams this late in the season. Going to be an exciting matchup.
Yeah, they're state ranked number 3 in 2A, and we've got votes off and on this season, which is one of the first times we've done that. In a long time around here. So this is a gigantic matchup today.
I know in the Jacksonville game post-game, we were joking about you guys being a little homesick, being away from your home court for 7 games in a row.
Yeah.
How big is it that you do get T-Town tonight at home?
Well, I'd much rather be here than there, that's for sure. That's hostile territory down there. We like we love our gym, and we shoot pretty well here, knock on wood.
Coach, they've got 5 players that are 6'5" or taller. Again, Will Kettlecamp, the tallest for the Tornadoes, at 6'4". How are you guys going to be able to manage those rotating bodies? Obviously, size is a big advantage for them.
I don't know. Grow magically. You know, I don't know. We've got a pretty good recipe for it. It's been working for us. We move the ball exceptionally well. We're pretty good at tricking teams into spreading out and getting bigs out of there. And, you know, I wouldn't expect anything else. It's going to be just kind of the same recipe when we go against big teams.
Coach, I know one thing they don't have that they'd probably like to have is a hot shooter like Jack Livingston right now. Are you just staying away from him in practice? You don't want to touch him, you might burn yourself. I mean, the dude's been unconscious.
Yeah, he's been playing really well. You know, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We've got a lot of guys who can really shoot the ball. We all know that. So if Jack doesn't, we got next in line.
Again, that's head coach Ryan Brown of the Taylorville Tornadoes. Coach, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
You're listening to the News Talk WTIM pregame show. Taking a real quick break. When we get back, we are going to check in with Bruce Berry, our color commentator tonight on News Talk WTIM.
All right. Can you hear me?
Back here on the News Talk WTIM pregame show, it's almost like we never even left. We might not have, folks. I have no idea. I'm in the dark about everything that's going on the radio station I work for. So you know what? We're just gonna wing it tonight, because why the heck not? Great matchup tonight between T-Town and Taylorville. We're excited for it. I'll now bring in Bruce Berry, my color commentator. And Bruce, if you can hear me, scoot closer underneath this. The good news is, Bruce, if it rains, you're gonna avoid a little bit of raindrops with that antenna hanging over your head. But
that's correct, John. I can barely hear you, but we'll do what we got to do.
Beggars can't be choosers, and if there's two bigger beggars in the world, you're gonna be hard to find them over me and Bruce. Hey, let's talk about this game. If folks really aren't here, they're really missing out. This is a heavyweight matchup tonight.
This is probably the second best team Taylorville's played this year, the way I look at it, with Lincoln being the top team that we've played. We lost to them by 4. That's our only home loss. Teutopolis comes in with a record of 19-3 on the year, and Taylorville comes in 19-2. So who's going to win 20 games? We'll find out here in the next 2 hours.
Bruce, I want to ask you about being home here at the home gym. I know that Coach Brown last time out against Jacksonville was talking about how he would love to see everybody in Taylorville here at the gym, a full house. Pretty good crowd tonight, not quite to capacity, but this place is going to get rocking here in a few.
This is a good crowd for Taylorville. I just wish our band was here, and that would really get the place rocking.
Oh, it would. It would. I know, Bruce, you're very adamant about that band being here. And if there was a game we probably wanted them at, it's going to be a top matchup like this.
Correct. And both teams come in healthy. I talked to Teutopolis coach earlier, and they're healthy, ready to play. And one common opponent, T-Town did beat Effingham, and Effingham did beat Taylorville, but that was at Effingham.
And we all know how Taylorville is a completely different basketball team here at home. Bruce, last time out against Jacksonville, just 2 points off the bench for the Tornadoes. Brandon Odom with the lone layup. They say they normally like to get about 10 points off their bench and 10 rebounds as well. They got close to that rebound number, but nowhere close on points. They're going to need more than 2 off their bench.
Correct, John, but we got out to a big lead there, and our bench didn't need to score. So I look for our bench. If we need them today, they'll step up, and I hope Taylorville comes away with a victory.
Bruce, I want to ask you this as well. We talked to Coach Brown pregame about the size for the wooden shoes. Plenty of it to go around. 5 players that stand 6'5" or taller. 2 of them in the starting lineup, and a 6'6" Dawson Smith and a 6'7" Clint Weber. Both of them being seniors, averaging over 15 points a ball game. How does Taylorville match up against that size?
Well, I imagine Coach Brown will come out and play that 3-2 zone. Have Mr. Kettlecamp guard one of them underneath there, and they're going to get most of their points from underneath, and we're just going to have to outscore them, I think, tonight, John.
An exciting game for T-Town last time out, taking on Mater Day on the road. 44-41 was the score. Mater Day would hit a three-pointer to tie the game at 44, steal the inbounds pass, miss the layup, rebounded by T-Town, and then a layup at the buzzer to win the game. Does that excitement for T-Town carry over to tonight's game? And if so, how concerning is that for the Tornadoes that T-Town's coming in on that much of a high?
They're going to come in very confident, but you know what I mean? If the Livingston kids can hit threes, that sort of puts that confidence on the back seat.
Absolutely. I got about 3 minutes till we're ready for tip-off. Bruce, as always, appreciate your insight ahead of tonight's action. We are edging closer to tip-off now, down to 3 minutes to go. We'll get more from Bruce when we return, including tonight's keys to the game. That's up next on News Talk WTIM. Well, you know what? We're just going to go right into it now. I don't think we have the availability to send it to a break quite yet. So, Bruce, let's go ahead. Let's not even wait. Why wait? Why wait on something that good? Bruce's keys to tonight's contest for Taylorville. What do they have to do to get this win?
It looks like our offense is going to really have to step up. We've been very offensive-minded in the Litchfield tournament and shooting the 3-ball very well. We did hit 15 threes the other night against Jacksonville, so I look for us to try to get at least double figures in 3-point makes.
All right, Bruce, and now as for T-Town, again, Teutopolis, the Wooden Shoes here in town tonight. 18 wins on their season compared to 3 losses. They're 4-1 on the road, 7-2 in neutral sites. But that 4-1 on the road is what we're interested in. They seem to know how to pick up wins left and right.
Very storied program in Illinois basketball history, and I look for them to come out, try to maybe slow the ball down a little bit and work the ball into their big men. And like you said earlier, they got 5 guys bigger than our tallest starter, but they only played 2 of them mainly, so really just 2 of them we got to worry about.
Absolutely. Bruce, as always, appreciate your insight. An exciting JV game in action before this one. How much do the teams really look at those in terms of leading up to the varsity game? I understand that there's a young man for T-Town that's going to play on varsity night, had around 25, 26 points, really lighting it up from deep.
I don't think it really matters too much in the varsity game myself. The JVs for Teutopolis with a good win at home, and they've been playing well lately also, finishing 10th in the Litchfield tournament against all varsity teams, including beating our rival Paytas Varsity. So that was a big win for the Taterville JV squad.
Brandon Odom kind enough to come over, receiving offers left and right for his football accomplishments. You see Justin just committed? Justin
Wright committed to St. Ambrose. Taterville's Tanner Champlin graduated from there this past December, and it looks like maybe there's a little highway to St. Ambrose for Taterville athletes.
So congratulations rather to Justin Wright, as he is able to continue his career as a college football athlete. Grant coming over trying to get some airtime as well. Again, we are awaiting tip-off for the Taylorville Tornadoes and the T-Town Wooden Shoes. We're going to stick with T-Town for much of the night tonight, folks. Teutopolis. It's one of those two. Again, I'm from Central Indiana. Teutopolis is what I've been told all throughout the day, but T-Town is just so much simpler. Both teams finishing their warm-ups. So, Bruce, plenty of size for T-Town. Taylorville, more of a shooting team. Who has the advantage then? Because Taylorville can light it up from deep, and we've seen it when they're hitting from deep. They are a very hard team to contend with, but they don't really have the size down low.
We don't have the size down low, but they don't have the quickness to guard us on the perimeters. And last I heard in math class, 3 is bigger than 2. So if we continue to shoot the 3 ball well, we should come away with the victory.
That's what I always tell my friends online, but they tell me it doesn't matter when you're not making the shots. Luckily, Taylorville shoots a whole heck of a lot better than I ever did. All right, folks, we're going to take a timeout for the anthem. You're listening to News Talk, WTIM. News Talk WTIM. It's the News Talk WTIM pregame show. The Wooden Shoes and the Tornadoes about ready to do battle. Starting lineups being announced. All right. For the Wooden Shoes, Luke Ungrund, Evan Wermert, Mitch Hardick, Clint Weber, and Dawson Smith. Smith and Weber, the two forwards. Smith 6'6", Weber 6'7". So it's Smith, Ungrund, Wermert, Hardick, and Weber for the Wooden Shoes. Now for the Tornadoes, same starting five they've had all season, and it's not surprising at all. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Nick Livingston, Jack Livingston, Ryan S., and Jace Bergschneider are your four guards. And as for your lone forward, it's going to be Will Kettlecamp. Going to have a pretty tall task this evening guarding two bigs tonight. We'll see how they being the Tornadoes, battle against that. Taylorville's lineup about to be announced. Lights have been dimmed. The crowd's getting into it. Bruce, already starting to feel a little bit electric in here. I said, Bruce, it's already starting to feel a little bit electric in here.
It feels like we got a great starting lineup announcement here, and listen to the crowd. Very big crowd from Taylorville's adults. The students aren't here too well, though, today.
Bruce, how much do they feed off that crowd going forward?
Well, I believe it's a big confidence maker for them, and they do feed off the crowd.
Again, we want to mention Milling Millwork Contracting Incorporated. They're a proud sponsor of the Taylorville Tornadoes. That's Milling Millwork Contracting Incorporated, located at 405 West Main Cross in Taylorville, where they are fully insured and bonded. Also, be listening at the end of tonight's contest, where Bruce Berry will have your Doug McKinney Country Financial Agent Player of the Game. Announced in the News Talk WTIM postgame show, Doug McKinney at Country Financial, where they grow with you. Folks, we're almost ready to go. Jack Livingston, the last tornado to be announced, and the hottest tornado in terms of shooting right now. In the Litchfield tournament, had a 31-point contest and then followed it up with a 20-point contest. He was the MVP of the 52nd annual Litchfield tournament. Bear with me, folks. I'm just going to ditch the mic stand. We're going to hold this bad boy all night, and let's get this thing going. We're ready to rock here at the Dolph. Alrighty, we've got Clint Weber jumping for it against Ryan S. S got a little bit of a head start, and Weber wins the tip. Now with the ball, it's going to be Evan Wermert. Taylorville sinking back into their zone. Now over to Smith, up top to Ungrud, over to Wermert, now on the left side. Thought about going left corner, instead goes up top to Ungrud. A whole lot of back and forth so far between the Wooden Shoes. Smith with it now, goes down low, stolen by Jace Bergschneider. Battling the body of Wermert, or I'm sorry, that's Ungrund he's battling, and he'll now slow it up with 30 seconds gone in the game. Taylorville has their first possession. Here's Ryan S. with it. Up top to Will Kettlecamp. Nick Livingston on the wing. Bergschneider in the left corner. Jack Livingston left wing. Thought about the three, but excellent job closing out there by Mitch Hardick. Here's S. Kettlecamp now, out in the right corner. Up top, Nick Livingston, straightaway three, and it's good. 3 points for Nick Livingston.
And Taylorville comes out and hits a three, their first shot, and it goes down. Taylorville leads 3-0.
Here's Smith with it, now gets it over to Ungrund. Over to Hardick, up top to Wermert. Three ball on the way, and it rattles home. Smith knocks that one in. We've got a tall ball game. Bergschneider gets the inbounds pass from Ryan S. 3-3 is your score. Ball is stolen. Here comes Smith on a fast break. Nick Livingston, the lone man back. Almost dunked home, but Smith lays it up. He's got all 5 of the points. Outlet pass quick to Jace Bergschneider. Up and off the glass for 2. Both these teams looking to run, huh, Bruce? Quick outlet pass again, cannot make the bunny, and then the rebound falls in the hands of Weber. He's got 2 points. Bergschneider gets the inbounds pass from Jack Livingston behind the back, loses it between his legs. That's going to be a turnover. Here's Ungrund with it now. To Smith. Cross-court pass to Wermert. It goes out of bounds, and Coach Brown's showing some intensity. So a tie ball game at 5 apiece. We've got 6 minutes left to go in the first quarter. 2 players both tying their shoes. S gets done first. Ungren now, and he's back up and ready for action. One-man full court press. Ungren guarded Bergschneider, putting a body on him, and there's a foul call. Coach Brown likes what he sees. Bergschneider finishes it and makes the layup, and now a staring contest between Weber and Bergschneider, and Weber blinks first.
They're calling it tight on the perimeter, so Jason and Nick Livingston are both going to have to remember that and not get 2 cheap fouls.
Bergschneider gets it to Jack Livingston. Plenty of contact there from Hardick, no call. Nick Livingston saves that one from going out of bounds. Back to Jack up top. A little bit outside of Jack's range at the volleyball line. Kettlecamp on the baseline. Left side, gets it up top to Nick Livingston. Here's S with it now. He's driving down the lane. Jump stop, gets it to Will Kettlecamp in the far corner. He's trying to drive, almost dragged that back foot. S for 3, it's no good. Rebounded by Smith. Jack Livingston and Mitch Hardick get tied up. Incidental contact. Hardick now over to Ungren in the corner. Only 5'10". Jack Livingston with an easy steal. Out to Bergschneider, but that goes right through his hands. Jace Bergschneider's going to want that one back.
Little sloppy play in the first 3 minutes. Both teams with 3 turnovers already.
Bruce, in a game that can be this close, turnovers like that can really come back to bite you.
That's correct, John. You're very observant.
Hardick with it now, gets it over to Wormer. Kicked ball by Jack Livingston. The wooden shoes will retain possession. Under 5 minutes left to go. Smith taking it out. Deep pass finds Ungren. Over to Hardick now, back to Ungren. At the free throw line, the jumper up and rattles out. Swatted out of bounds, or no, out of the hands of Weber. And Bergschneider with it. He's looking to run, trying to go coast to coast. Leaves it for Jack Livingston, and it floats up and in. 7-7 tie ball game with 4:30 left to go in the first quarter. Ungren with it now, gets it up to Hardick. Now to Smith. To Weber. Back up top to Smith. He's coming off the left wing. Nick Livingston's going to get called for the foul. That'll be his first. So 1 foul apiece. Nick has the one for the Tornadoes. Oh, they gave it to Jack.
That was on Jack, yes.
Didn't even see Jack in on the play. They are twins, so you understand the confusion. Sub coming in. It's going to be Lucas Dries at the scorer's table. Smith, 3-ball on the way. Short. Rebounded by Will Kettlecamp. Rips that one away from Clint Weber. Bergschneider leaves it for Kettlecamp. Cross court. Nick Livingston. 3-ball up, and it's short. Kettlecamp is battling down low. Wanted that rebound, but too strong there, Mitch Hardick. Getting away with a walk in the eyes of the Taylorville referees. Hardick with it back. 3-ball on the way. It's good. Wormert held the finish rather. Outlet pass, Nick Livingston. Up and under, he gets an and one. Excellent ball fake there by Nick Livingston. Gets his defender in the air, and now he's got a 3-point opportunity.
T-Town really goes to the boards very hard, so it's good. Taylor gets some good outlet pass and gets a bucket and one.
The foul's on Dalton Smith, his first. Nick Livingston misses the free throw. Uncharacteristic of him, shooting 77% on the season. Hardick with it now. Gets it to Breeze fresh into the game. Up top now to Wormert. Over to Smith. Wormert up top. Weber floats one up, rattles out. Bergschneider with the rebound. Taylorville looking to run. Bergschneider has a 1-on-4. Gets it to Will Kettlecamp. Back to Ryan S. Nick Livingston. 3-ball on the way. It's short. Doesn't follow his shot. It lands in the hands of Mitch Hardick. Taylorville down by 1, 10-9 with 3 minutes left to go. Wormert with it now. Gets it down low. Stolen by S. He's now looking to run. Fast-paced ball game. S almost loses it. Gets it out to Jack Livingston. He takes a deep 3-ball. Nothing but net. 5 points for Jack. Taylorville has a 2-point lead. They get it to Weber. Now over to Hardick. Has it poked free of him. Will Kettlecamp with the steal. It's on the ground. They're going to call that a jump ball or a foul. Either way, Coach Brown is pumped up, and so is the Taylorville faithful that came out tonight. Bruce, 2:30 left to go. You like the intensity from both teams?
Correct. That's 5 turnovers on T-Town already. Their coach cannot be happy with that.
Brandon Odom and Justin Wright both check in. If you thought it was intense before, Justin Wright into the game now. 6 feet tall, will not back down from anybody, and plays tenacious defense. Ryan S. sets the screen for Bergschneider. Goes all the way coast to coast off the rim. No good on his layup. Here's Wormer with it now. Gets it up to Smith. He's looking to drive. Almost was out of bounds, but Justin Wright with it. He gets the steal. Leaves it for Bergschneider. Was fouled, no call. Jace Bergschneider can't believe it. Neither can Coach Brown. Plenty of contact. They're going to say a lot of ball. Will Kettlecamp going to check in.
Got all ball there, and Jace knocked it out of bounds.
Brown calls Kettlecamp back to the bench. No sub. Taylorville up by 2 with 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. It's 12-10. An exciting game here early on. Finally across half court as Wormer gets it to Smith, down low Weber, and he's fouled. And I think that's going to be Odom's first. He'll make it enter it the hard way. It is on Odom, his first. Weber at the free throw line. Good looking stroke, connects on it. He's got 3. Ungren checks back in. Jordan Hardick in for the first time tonight. Jordan Hardick in the JV game had over 25 points.
Yeah, that's a sophomore. They started a sophomore, and their second sub off the bench is a sophomore. So
well, and just a word here on Jordan Hardick from what we saw in the JV game. He can shoot. S with the rebound off the missed free throw. Taylorville's lead is down to 1. S gets Odom across half court. Now he brings it across half court himself. Some contact there from Hardick. Gets it to Justin Wright. Here's Nick Livingston now. Brandon Odom thought about the 3. Tries to leave it to Bergschneider, but throw is behind him. S coming down. They're trying to foul. No call. And Ungren has his first 2 points. Taylorville down by 1. 13-12 is your score with 90 ticks left to go in the first quarter. Here's Odom all the way. Tries to leave it out for Ryan S. He has to save it. It's tipped by Dawson Smith. He's got a free 2. Justin Wright comes back to finish it. And then Nick Livingston. Coach Brown wanted basket interference. They're going to give that bucket to Clint Weber. He's got 5 now. Bergschneider down the lane. Off the glass for 2, no good. Wright can't get the rebound. Taylorville down by 3 with a minute left to go. Hardick going to take a 3 ball. It's no good. Rebounded by Nick Livingston. See if Taylorville wants to slow it up. Jack Livingston going to check into the game. S does want to slow it up. He gets it to Bergschneider, who now gets it across half court. 45 seconds here, Bruce. Do you think Taylorville holds for the last shot?
Unless T-Town starts coming out and playing them a little bit more aggressive on defense, yeah, they'll hold for the last shot. Fast pace there for a couple minutes.
I was going to say, you barely got to get a word in. Now, now's your time to shine, Bruce. Let the people know.
Well, Brandon Odom dribbling there. Right-handed dribble, left-handed dribble, and looks good. 25 seconds left.
Just making sure you're still awake over there, Bruce. Again, Brandon is killing some clock. S seeing if they want to take a timeout. They do not. 10 seconds now. Got to get something going. S and Livingston are your shooters. Here comes Brandon Odom. They try to leave it for Nick. He gets an open look. It's tipped on the way. Going to be an air ball. That should be Taylorville ball. I think that ball was... I've never seen Nick Livingston miss a shot that poorly in his life.
He thought it was tipped, and I thought it was tipped too, but the outside official did not call it was tipped. So 3 seconds left. See what T-Town can do. They're going to try to inbound it to the...
Drees taken out of bounds. They get it to Ungren. Ungren not even going to get a shot off. It's good if it goes. No, he cannot connect. He surprised me just by getting it off. Hey, I think we're ready to take a break here on News Talk WTIM. 15-12 your score. Taylorville down by 3. Second quarter action when we get back. here on News Talk WTIM, ready for the second quarter of action. Smith with the ball, gets it over to Mitch Hardick, has it stolen by Brandon Odom. Taylorville looking to run. They can tie this game up with a 3-ball. That's what they're going for with Nick Livingston. No good. Rebounded by Clint Weber. Ahead to Smith. That's going to be a blocking foul on Bergschneider.
Nick made his first 3 in the first 3 of the game. He's missed his last 4.
Jace has his first. Jack has a foul as well.
That was a cheap foul by Jace. They're going to call it on him, so you got to be careful.
Those are the ones, Bruce, you don't like to see.
Got to be careful not to pick up his second one.
Smith with it. Whistle blows, and I think we got an offensive foul now.
3-second call, John.
Taylorville gets possession. A turnover to the Wooden Shoes. Here's Bergschneider with it. His pass is stolen, intended for Brandon Odom, who then swats out of bounds out of the hands of Dawson Smith.
That's 8 turnovers for T-Town and 6 for Taylorville. Sloppily played so far.
Bruce, I want to ask you, the score only 15-12. Is this advantage T-Town keeping it this low?
I believe so. T-Town probably should be ahead by a few more points. Taylorville's not shot the ball very well, but as you know, Taylorville can hit 3. They can get back in the game real quick.
An up and under move from Jordan Hardick extends the lead to 5 for T-Town. Ryan S. gets an excellent pass from Brandon Odom. S on the board with his first 2 points. Smith with it. 6'6", and he handles the ball. In the hands of Mitch Hardick. Gets it back to Smith. Over now to Jordan Hardick, the shooter. And an easy 2 there for Clint Weber. He's got 7. Taylorville down by 5. Odom's going to take a deep 3. Nothing but net, Bruce. Brandon Odom not known for his shot, but hey. Excellent job of penetration there by Hardick. And leaving it for Clint Weber. He's got 9. Whistles blow. Bergschneider fouled. And that's going to be a foul on Jordan Hardick, his first. Will Kettlecamp set to check back in for Taylorville.
Looks like he's going to check in for Ryan S. They've scored the last 3 buckets on layups underneath, so that's why Coach is putting Will Kettlecamp in for some defensive.
What type of whistle was that by that? I hope he didn't have to make a call. A light whistle there for another sub. Sitting down will be Evan Wormer. Jack Livingston with the ball in the left corner. Back and forth. Will Kettlecamp with it now. He's fouled, but no call. What is that, says the Taylorville fans. He had his man up in the air and gave him a piggyback ride for about a second and a half. That's as much contact you're going to see without a whistle there. Here's Ungard with it in a tough spot. Tries to lob it down low, and they connect. And that's an easy 2 for Weber. He's got 11 now. Taylorville down by 6. Bergschneider's foul. They're going to call it on the floor. There's the whistle that Taylorville wanted. It just comes a play late. That foul's going to be on number 12. That is Luke Ungard. He's got 2.
Second, T-Town's 4th.
He grabs a seat. Checking back in for him will be Jordan Hardick, the shooter. Will Kettlecamp on the left wing. Had Nick Livingston open down low, and for some reason tried to throw it to the corner and finds the hands of Mitch Hardick. The only problem is he's a wooden shoe. 5:30 left to go in the first half. Mitch Hardick with it now, over to his brother Jordan. Now in the hands of Lucas Dries. Smith with it. Cross-court pass Dries, up top Hardick. To Smith on the left corner. He's coming down. Off the glass and good for 2. Smith has 7. Those are his first 2 points in the second quarter. Leaving it for Will Kettlecamp. How did he see him if you're Chase Bergschneider? Timeout Wooden Shoes. Will Kettlecamp on the board with 2. We're going to keep it right here, folks. Taylorville down by 6 with 5 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Bruce, haven't really seen Taylorville have to battle like this in a couple games.
We don't have the answer for Smith or Weber underneath. They're taking the ball right and getting good layups in, and Weber's got 11, I believe, and Smith with 7.
That is correct. You put that together, Bruce, you get 18. Taylorville as a team has 19. So that just really goes to show how much those two T-Town stars have really been doing.
Correct, and Taylorville does not have a defensive answer. He's tried Brandon Odom, he's tried Will Kettlecamp. Ryan S. checks in for Odom now, and we got our starters back in the game right now. Brandon Odom did hit a big three on the offensive end, but
you mentioned that three. That's the one thing advantage Taylorville, really, the shooting. Haven't seen them drop quite yet. Nick's had a couple open shot, hasn't gotten them. An errant pass picked off by Ryan S., and now Taylorville looking to run. No one picks up S. On cue, he connects. 5 for Ryan S., all of them coming in the second quarter. Here's Smith with it now. Gets it over to Lucas Dries. Jordan Hardick with it. Over to his brother Mitch. Back up top to Jordan. Drags the foot and a travel call. Taylorville forces a turnover. Evan Wormert going to check in for the sophomore Hardick. They're saying make Jace crossover. I don't know if I'd want to defend Jace off the dribble, but hey, go for it. Jace gets the inbounds pass from S. Now back to Ryan, and Ryan leaves it for Jace. Taylorville down by 3 with 4:15 left to go in the second. Nick Livingston to Will Kettlecamp up top. Bergschneider on the right wing. Back to Jack. Had a contested 3. Now he dribbles out of it. Off the side of the rim, no good. Rebounded by Smith. He gets it to...
Jack rushed that 3, and it was off to the right.
Gets it to Dries. Dries with it now. Gets in the corner to Evan Wormert. Down low, an excellent pass. Up for 2, but it rims out. There's plenty of contact. Got to be a foul there somewhere, and it is. Finally, a foul called on the wooden shoes. Anytime there's 4 bodies hitting the floor, you would expect there to be a whistle at least somewhere in the county, let alone in the gym.
That's just Weber's first foul and T-Town's 5th.
Taylorville would not be too upset if he picked up 4 more of those, being Weber. He has 11 points.
Missed a point-blank layup, and Weber going for the rebound and called for the foul.
S with the ball now. Trying to leave it for Bergschneider, but Bergschneider cuts. In the hands of Nick Livingston, back to S. S between the legs dribble, almost loses it. To Will Kettlecamp now. Nick Livingston just inside the free throw line. Offensive foul on Jace. Bergschneider picks up his second.
That's second foul on Jace. We'll see if Coach Brown takes him out. I don't think he will. It's too tight a game, and Jace is still our only ball handler in the game at the moment.
I think that's Wormert that drew the foul. No, it might be Evan Addis fresh into the game. Yes, that is Evan Addis. Just a sophomore. Bergschneider didn't like the call, and he'll stay out there with his 2 personals. With the ball now, it's Hardick. Leaves it for Addis. Over to Smith in the corner. Cross-court pass to the right wing to Addis. Up top, we got another whistle. 3 in the key. Pitching a tent down there and camping out for the wooden shoes.
3 seconds on Evan Wormert. Just a sophomore, and he gets called for 3 seconds.
That's their second 3 of the key tonight. Speaking of 3 minutes left to go in the first half. Here comes Jace Bergschneider across half court, picked up by the sophomore Addis. Bergschneider leaves it for Nick Livingston. Open 3 ball. Does not drop, but Will Kettlecamp with the board. He almost loses it. And they're going to say a travel, but that ball was tipped, I thought.
That's the 9th turnover for Taylorville, and Nick Livingston is 2 out of 8 from the field.
Here's Hardick with it now. Leaves it for Addis. Over to Wormert. Back up top to Mitch Hardick. Over to Wormert now on the right wing. A moving screen, there's the call. Addis gets called for 1. An intense game here both ways. Taylorville down by 3. Brandon Odom going to check in. He grabs Will Kettlecamp. So it's S. Odom, the Livingstons, and Bergschneider for your Tornadoes. It's Wormert, Addis, Smith, Weber, and Mitch Hardick for the wooden shoes. Bergschneider across half court. Leaves it for S. Has an open 3. Takes it. Rims out. Oh, that was all the way down. As much as you can make it without actually seeing it go through the hoop. Jack Livingston playing defense on Mitch Hardick. Hardick in a bad spot. Gets it over to Smith on the left wing. They lob it down low, an alley-oop for Weber. He just lays it off the glass for 2. Taylorville down by 5, 27-22. Wooden Shoes with the lead. Here comes Odom down the lane. Leaves it for S, an open 3 ball. He connects. Ryan S with 8 points. Taylorville down by 2. Here comes Hardick for the Wooden Shoes. Actually, I'm sorry, that's Wormer. Gets it to Addis. Now Smith. Down to Weber. Up top to Smith on the wing. They'll reset with Hardick up top with 1:40 left to go in the second quarter. From Wormer, back to Hardick. Over to Smith on the wing again. Cross-court pass. Try to find Addis. Up top to Hardick. He's driving down the lane. Plenty of contact. No call. Rebounded by Nick Livingston. He has a poke free. Corralled by Smith. Off the glass for 2, and they give him an and 1. Dawson Smith has 9. And Taylorville once again down by 4. Smith looking to make it 5. That foul is going to be on Nick Livingston. It's his first. Smith at the line, connects, nothing but net. Smith has 10. Jack Livingston with it, leaves it for S. Up top to Jack Livingston, now to Odom. He drives up the offense, finds a cutting Jack Livingston. He's in trouble, gets out to Jace Bergschneider. 3 on the way, he's fouled and go to the line for 3. Thought we might have had an and 1, but he misses off the back of the rim. Justin Wright set to check in for the Tornadoes. Jace Bergschneider has 3 free throws coming his way.
That's Jace's first 3-point shot of the game. I thought he was going to get a 4-point play there, John. Let's see. He misses the first.
Could have made it a 1-point ball game, but Jace misses the free throw. Jace shoots 66% there on the season. Will Kettlecamp and Justin Wright set to check in. Bergschneider misses the second. Can't believe it. S sits down. Will checks in.
Taylorville's 0 out of 3 from the line.
That's not a winning play there. Going 0 for 3 at the charity stripe, potentially Bergschneider, and he does.
He misses all 3.
Smith gets the rebound. Nick Livingston applying a full court pressure. He gets called for a cheap foul, 75 feet from the bucket.
That's a cheap foul on Nick, but you shouldn't be guarding him 75 feet away from the basket. These officials are calling it tight, and that's a cheap foul, and that's a second on Nick.
Free throws the rest of the way for both teams.
Coach Brown takes Bergschneider out, trying to make sure he does not pick up his 3rd foul in the first half.
Hardick with it now, gets it back up to Ungren. Ungren almost dragged that foot, but instead throws an errant pass to Will Kettlecamp. He almost loses it. He's got to get it out of his hands. There's Nick Livingston with the ball now. Brandon Odom up top. Looking for someone to cut, can't find anyone. He's coming down the lane himself. Lays it up off the glass for 2. Brandon Odom with 5. Taylorville down by 3 with 35 seconds left to go in the first half. Ungren with it. Gets it over to Mitch Hardick. Up top to Ungren again. Here's Smith. Lobs it to Ungren in the left wing.
Looks
up
like
top,
they're holding for the last shot, John.
Working it around the horn. Here's Wormert with it now, guarded by Justin Wright. Nick Livingston comes out to play defense, and timeout. T-Town, they're going to take a full. We'll keep it right here. 12.4 left in your second quarter of action. Taylorville down by 3. Bruce, and really we've been saying it all game, plenty of intensity both ways for both squads, and a great showing by the home crowd here for Taylorville.
Big showing. I think we got the little cheerleaders to come perform at halftime. That might be the reason for the extra big showing.
I think they're more so here to see you and me.
There's a lot of adults here just want to watch a good basketball game here on a chilly Saturday afternoon in downtown Taylorville.
Chilly to say in the least. Couldn't think of a better place to be, though, if it is a little bit of a cold night. Stop by and see us here at the Dolphin second half action. We'll have that for you here on News Talk WTIM. And it should be a barn burner down the home stretch. Taylorville getting down by 3. What are these coaches saying to their teams in the timeouts, Bruce?
Well, with 12 seconds left, T-Town setting up their last second shot here at the half. And Brown, I'm sure, is... and he did. He took Nick Livingston out, so Nick would not have a chance of picking up his 3rd foul. He did take Jason Nick out, and he's got 2 better defensive players in there anyhow, in Justin Wright and Brandon Odom, along with Will Kettlecamp.
Wormert throws in the backcourt to Ungren. Taylorville looks like they're playing man-to-man. No, it's going to be a soft zone. Here's Smith with it now. Pushes off on Jack Livingston, no call. 2 seconds. They don't see the clock. They throw it up left-handed for a lob, and it's no good. Taylorville down by 3 heading into the halftime break. 30-27 your score. Wooden Shoes on top. We've got the News Talk WTIM halftime show coming up next on News Talk WTIM. John Bowen back here with you on News Talk WTIM. It is the halftime show. Scoring recap for you. Well, it's a close one. That's how we're going to recap the scoring recap. 30-27. No team really able to get any separation. The biggest lead for the biggest lead for T-Town, rather, was 6. It is down to 3. The biggest lead for Taylorville, Bruce, I believe they held a 3-point lead at one point, but that's about as big as it's gotten. No team really able to get too much separation one way or the other. Again, 30-27 is your score at the moment. Taylorville down by 3 at home. They do play better at home, and they are in the halftime show now, which is the young ladies out here dancing with the high school dance team, Bruce. And, if you're Coach Brown, you knew this was going to be a tough matchup going into tonight's contest. T-Town ranked 3rd in the state for 2A schools, and for a reason. Especially with the 2 big scores they have down low. Clint Weber, every bit as good as advertised with those 13 points. What is he saying to his team at the halftime break to get him fired up for the second half?
I think he's pretty happy with the way we played. We matched the intensity level of T-Town. We just got to shoot the ball better. Nick Livingston was 2 out of 8, including 1 out of 7 from 3. Brandon Odom came in and got 5 big points for us. Jace Berkshire only with 2 points, 1 out of 5 from the field, and missed all 3 free throws. Ryan S. hit 2 threes, 4 out of 5 from the field. We were 11 out of 24 from the field, and it's going to be hard to hear now, John, with the looks like maybe 3rd and 4th grade cheerleaders out there now.
So, Bruce, you mentioned kind of the shooting woes for Taylorville, if you will. I don't know that we've seen this from Taylorville every game. They don't tend to shoot in the halftime to warm up. They just kind of sit around the bench, hey, how are you? I'm doing well. Small talk, blah, blah, blah. Hey, it's cold outside, yada, yada. Do you expect difference in that now? Because you mentioned Bergschneider 1 of 5 from the field, and Nick Livingston can't really find his stroke either.
They haven't really did it all year, so John, I don't know how you can expect it. I know if I was either one of them, I think I'd come out and try to get my stroke going for the second half. But, it's a lot more difficult to make a 3 when somebody's guarding you than I seen you before the varsity game out there shooting 3s, unguarded, of course, and you still found it hard to make them, John.
Hey, I was so good I was 10 of 10, folks. I didn't miss a single shot. Bruce came out trying to make a shot, didn't get it to the rim. It was like someone tried to tell me he was shooting on the wrong goal, and Bruce couldn't figure it out. He goes, "Can this thing get lowered for me?"
I was a defensive specialist, John.
Bruce missed his shot and let out the excuse. Is this thing regulation size or what? It was, Bruce. It was. I was a shooter. Bruce and I are going to continue this conversation during the break. Hey, we got first half stats for you when we get back. You're listening to News Talk WTIM. John Bowen back here with you on News Talk WTIM for the halftime show. Wrapping up the dances for the Bruce, what would this be? 5th graders now dancing?
Looks like 5th or 6th, John. I'm not positive, but they're doing a nice job, and a lot of girls have turned out for this.
Better than you or I could do. Let's just put it that way. That
better than you could do, John. I'm sure.
Don't even. I do the Q-tip. Q-tip. You got to make the pizza. That's what I do.
I like to do the fish.
The what?
The fish.
The fish? Yeah. Show me the fish real quick. No one else can see it. Do this for me.
No,
do this for me while I'm doing the scoring.
I'll show it to you afterwards.
I'm going to hold you to it. Let's jump into some scoring stats for both teams. First for the Wooden Shoes. Again, they're up by 3. 30-27. Wow, the music cut out. Now I feel like I'm screaming. 30-27, Wooden Shoes with the lead. They were led by Clint Weber. He had 13, and 8 of those points coming in the second quarter. His sidekick Dawson Smith with 10, Luke Ungrid with 2, Evan Wormer had 3, and 2 off the bench from Jordan Hardick. As for Taylorville, they've got 27 points on the scoreboard. They were led by Ryan S. He had 8 points, all of those coming in the second quarter. 5 for Nick Livingston. 5 for Jack Livingston as well. 2 for Will Kettlecamp, 2 for Jace Bergschneider, and 5 off the bench for Brandon Odom. Those are your scoring stats here on News Talk WTIM. Take another quick break. 30-27. Taylorville down by 3. Do they have an answer in the second half? My guess is yes. Taking a break here on News Talk WTIM. John Bowen back here with you on News Talk WTIM, wrapping up the halftime show. Well, Bruce, we had the answer to our question. Here are your shooters out there for the halftime warm-up. Ryan S., Blake Dooley, Tyler Heimsness, Raiden Gideon, John Heberling, Wyatt Shirley, and Will Kettlecamp holding a basketball, although he hasn't taken a shot yet. And as for
Livingston's out of the locker room yet.
Okay, here comes Jack now, filling up the water, and still no sign of Nick Livingston. We've got 2:35 left to go till we're ready to resume play. Bruce, I want to get your insight on this. What are we looking out for here in the second half? Again, Taylorville down by 3. You'd imagine these are the types of games where if you're head coach Ryan Brown, you save your best halftime speeches for, because it is a pretty big matchup. What are we expecting here in the second half? Your keys to the contest the rest of the way. How does Taylorville cut into that 3-point deficit and make sure they outscore them in the second half?
Shoot the ball better, especially from Nick Livingston and Jack. And I look for Jace Bergschneider to get going. He's been driving to the basket, hadn't been able to finish yet. And if we do go to the foul line, we got to make our free throws. We missed 4 free throws. If we'd have hit them, we'd be a 1-point lead.
Nick Livingston finally out of the locker room. He's got his bottle of preference filled with his beverage of choice, either water or Gatorade. I was more of a Gatorade guy, but then again, I was not as good a player as Nick. Maybe the secret was water. Who knows? I didn't know it.
Back when I played, John, the coach would not let you drink water during the game.
No.
You weren't tough if you drank water.
You're not serious, are you?
Yes. That was
no water during games. You're dead serious.
No, of course. That showed a sign of weakness.
What do you say? If you're thirsty, drink your spit?
Well, that's right. You better be plenty hydrated before you came to the gym that night.
Oh, man.
So we usually eat a bag of popcorn or something at halftime. That was the trick to ours, playing well in the second half.
We'll get a minute till we're ready to resume play. Taylorville, for being down by 3 and not having the hottest shooting half, they seem pretty calm on the bench.
They do. Like I said, Chase didn't take a shot. Brandon Odom didn't take a shot. Kettle Camp didn't take a shot. They just, I don't know what the reason is. I guess they figure they need to rest more than they do trying to get their stroke.
Bruce, we're down to about 20 seconds here, so we're ready to resume play. I believe it's going to be the Wooden Shoes. No, it'll be Taylorville. My apologies, starting with the ball.
Get the ball to
if
start
I'm not
the
mistaken.
third quarter.
So we'll see. Normally, Coach Brown likes to start it with a drawn-up play. So, Bruce, who's your go-to guy here in the second half? Again, Nick and Jace have not been shooting well. Jack, we've only seen him take a handful of shots. So who are you going with?
Well, you got to get the ball in Jace's hands and let him drive to the basket. If they converge on him, then dish it back out to Nick and see if we can't get Nick going.
Both teams has their starters out on the court. Ryan S. going to take the ball out right in front of us. Wormert ready to play some defense. And we're ready to go. Bergschneider gets the inbounds pass from S. And we're underway. Ungrid playing defense. Here's Jack Livingston now. Hands it off to Nick. Now back to Jack. Finds Jace Bergschneider. Jump stop off the glass for 2. It's no good. He's fighting for the ball, but it's rebounded by Dalton Smith. Gets it to Ungrid. Now back to Smith. He's picked up by Nick Livingston. Get it to Wormert. Now back to Smith. Nick Livingston's got to be careful. He's got 2 fouls. Find a wide open 2 there for Weber. He's got 15 now.
That was a good pass by Dawson Smith, his 4th assist of the evening.
Taylorville down by 5. Their biggest deficit has been 6. Here's Bergschneider. Had an open 3. Comes down the lane. Leaves it for Will Kettlekamp. S will take the 3 ball. Looks short. It is. And it's tipped from Weber into the waiting arms of Mitch Hardick. Gets it to Ungren. Now back to Hardick. To Weber. Smith cross-court pass. 3 ball. No good. Kettlekamp boxes out. Hardick, and here's Livingston with it. Gets it to Jace Bergschneider. He loses his footing. Wants a foul call, and they're going to say Taylorville ball. Well, we're sitting on the wrong sideline, apparently, folks. Jack Livingston gets it to Nick Livingston now to Will Kettlekamp in the right corner. Up top, S. He's behind the volleyball line. Ungrid still coming out to play defense on him. Here's Will Kettlekamp with it. Trying to find a cutting Jack Livingston, but the pass is cut off. Here's Ryan S. Shot fake. Leaves it for Will. Out to Jack. Not the best of passes. Here's Bergschneider now. He spins down the lane. Has an open 2. Switches to the left hand. From the right, it's up, and it's good. Jace has 4. He was held scoreless there in the second quarter. A layup in the first and a layup in the third. Taylorville down by 3. A foul on Nick Livingston. He wanted a jump ball.
And that's his 3rd foul, and they've all been at least on the back side of half court.
Looks like Nick will stay in the game. You definitely don't want to see him pick up that 4th. Smith and Ungrid back and forth. They get it to Wormert. To Smith now. Had an open 3, pass it up, comes down the lane. S with the foul.
Dawson Smith to go to the line for 2. Ryan S. hit him in the back of the head on that drive.
I'm surprised by S complaining about the foul call. I thought that was a pretty clear foul. But nonetheless, Smith goes to the free throw line, and as they say, well, Ryan S. probably saying ball don't lie, as the free throw is missed. Second one up, and that one rolls home. Smith has 11. Bergschneider with it for the Tornadoes, down by 4 with 6 minutes left to go in the third quarter. He's coming all the way down the lane. Nobody stops ball. Jace has 2 more. He's got 6 on the contest, 4 of them coming in the third quarter. Thrown out of bounds. Taylorville forces a turnover. Will Kettlekamp supplying the defense.
Good defense by Will Kettlekamp, forced that turnover, and Taylorville has a chance to tie or go ahead with the 3.
Mitch Hardick was the intended receiver. Bergschneider with the ball gets it to Jack Livingston. Will Kettlecamp, now here's Jack getting it back up top. S with it on the right wing. He's at the free throw line now. Picks up his dribble in some trouble, leaves it for Jack. He's being harassed defensively. Here's Bergschneider, finds a cutting S, almost loses it. Out to Will Kettlecamp. Nick Livingston will open 3 ball. It's good! Nick Livingston with 8. Taylorville up by 1, 34-33 with 5:15 left to go. Here's Mitch Hardick with it now to Wormert. He's coming down the lane. That's kicked by Ryan S. Out to awaiting Dawson Smith, but the whistle blows for the kick ball.
That's Taylorville's first lead since early in the first quarter, John.
Justin Wright set to check in.
Wright checks in.
And he grabs Nick Livingston. Interesting. How tough is it going to be for Nick to get going, knowing they're going to probably sub offense for defense? You don't want him to pick up that 4th foul.
That's right, especially in this quarter.
Smith with it. Gets it up top to Hardick, over to Wormert. They're trying to go down low. And a foul called on S. That's going to stay on the ground. His second.
They continue to get the ball into Clint Weber underneath the basket. He's got 15, and that's Taylorville's 3rd foul of the half.
No fouls yet called on the wooden shoes. Weber gets the inbounds pass from Smith, trying to seal off in the paint. No luck. Cross-court pass, open 3 for Smith. It's short. Rebounded by S, but it was missed so badly, and then Wright gets called for a foul. It was missed so badly that S could not corral it. It came off the rim with that much velocity.
That's the 4th foul in Taylorville, just the 1st on Justin Wright.
Taylorville might be in some trouble here late in terms of free throws. Inbounds pass finds Mitch Hardick. He lifts it to Wormert now. Wormert dribbling between the legs, gets it over to Ungren. Guarded by Jack Livingston. To Weber. Gets it out to Hardick. Over to Wormert, now up top to Smith. Smith finds Ungren. They're trying to find Weber down low. He wants it on the left block. They do lob it down low. He goes off the glass for 2. Weber with 17, right about his season average.
T-Town worked the ball around there for about a minute.
Bergschneider with a spin, leaves it up off the front of the rim, and it falls home. 8 points for Jace, 6 of them coming in the 3rd. Lead back to Taylorville, 36-35. Ungren over to Smith now. Fakes the pass to the left, dribbles right, finds Weber, catches it in a bad spot, but still muscles it up for 2. He's got 19. Kettlecamp with it now. He's going to try to take it himself. Needs to find Jack. That goes out of bounds. Not tipped.
Weber's got 6 this quarter, and also the Jace. Weber's got 19.
And checking into the game will be Lucas Dries. Brandon Odom checks in for Taylorville. S sits down. He cuts off Evan Wormert. Wormert gives him a wry look, like, come on now. But S just does not care. They find Hardick with it now. Gets it out to Smith. Cross-court pass to Jordan Hardick. I'm sorry, Dries. To Ungren up top. Gets it to Smith. 3.5 left to go in the 3rd. To Ungren on the right wing. He's trying to find a man down low. He'll go back to the corner, over to Dries. Up top to Ungren now. Smith on the left wing. To Ungren up top. Hot potato back and forth. That is a moving screen that's not called. Off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Taylorville. It's swatted out of bounds off of the wooden shoes. The officials are letting him play. Deep outlet. Justin Wright gets it back to Jack Livingston.
We've seen long passes all fall from Brandon Odom to Justin Wright.
Bergschneider going to slow it up as we've got less than 3 to go. Out to Justin Wright. Will Kettlecamp thinking about the 3, not known for his shot. In fact, has not hit a 3 in his varsity career. Bergschneider off the glass for 2. He's got 10 in double figures. And it has been a difficult 10 for Jace to get to. Almost stolen by Jack Livingston. Numbers now for the wooden shoes, but they can't take advantage. Mitch Hardick to Ungren. Back to Hardick. He has to save that from going out of bounds. To Breeze, back to Hardick. The crowd getting into it now for Taylorville. Breeze to Hardick up top. See if Taylorville feeds off this defensively. They do. Justin Wright with a steal. The crowd erupts. Nobody stops ball. Justin Wright gives Taylorville a 3-point lead. He's got 2, 40-27. Taylorville up by 3. Timeout by T-Town. And Coach Brown is fired up. So's the home crowd. Taylorville with 2 minutes left to go, up by 3. We're going to take a quick timeout, 30-second break here on News Talk WTIM. WTIM. Bruce, I can't remember a game all season that the Dolphins sounded like this.
No, it's the loudest I've heard. It got loud at the end of the Lincoln game, but with Lincoln having that big lead during the third quarter, it wasn't very loud until right at the end.
Taylorville up by 3 with 2 minutes left to go in the third. Ungren gets the inbounds pass from Smith. Now back to Smith on the left wing. Ungren up top, looking for Breeze on the right side, and finds him. Back up top to Ungren. Coach Brown wants the Taylorville bench and the fans to stay in this game. Here's Breeze now, cross-court pass left corner to right. Errant pass stolen by Nick Livingston, almost, but Smith gets it back. Here's Weber with it. Oh, what a cheap foul called on Brandon Odom. That is a gimme if I've ever seen one. That foul on Brandon should be his second, and it is. Ryan S. checks back in for Nick Livingston.
That's the 5th foul on Taylorville, and still Teutopolis is yet to pick up a foul here in the third quarter.
Put a big question mark next to that one as to how Teutopolis doesn't have a foul here in the second half. Taking the ball out of bounds will be Wormert. Stolen by Taylorville. No, who's got this? Going to be a jump ball.
Good hustle by Ryan S. diving on the floor, and the ball's tied up. Alternating possession, the ball will go to T-Town, down by 3.
And they flip the possession arrow. Next time it will be Taylorville ball. Coach Brown getting the bench and the home crowd into it. Here's Wormert with it. Taylorville up by 3 with 90 seconds left to go. Odom cuts off Smith on the drive. 3 ball on the way. Too strong, no good. And a foul finally called on the wooden shoes as Bergschneider hits the turf. That's going to be on Weber, his second. Wright sits down. Nick Livingston checks in. S will take the ball out of bounds with 1:20. So it's Odom, Nick Livingston, Ryan S., Jace Bergschneider, and Will Kettlecamp. Bergschneider gets the inbounds pass. Again, Taylorville up by 3 with 1:15 now left to go in the third. Across half court, he's guarded by Drees. Leaves it for Nick Livingston, back to Bergschneider. He's driving baseline, and there's another foul called. And Bergschneider throws it off the bottom of the rim. Sarcastic laugh, finally, as it's called. And did Weber just pick up his third?
Last 3 minutes, Brandon Odom and Will Kettlecamp have really played good defense on Clint Weber.
They give it to Drees, his third.
Here at the Dolph.
Jack Livingston checks in. Inbounds pass to S on the right wing, gets it to Bergschneider up top. Screen left from Kettlecamp. Bergschneider goes up for 2, it's blocked, and then corralled out of bounds. No, it's still in play. Kettlecamp down on it. The ball's still loose. Who has it? The wooden shoes do. They've got to get it across half court. It's going to be close to a 10 count, and they finally do with Wormert. He's coming down the lane, floats it off the glass for 2, no good. Rebounded by Weber, though. He's down low, and there's going to be a foul called. Are you kidding me? What are they sarcastic cheering about? You've got 5 team fouls called compared to the 2 on your squad. Give me a break. You've got to save the sarcastic cheers for when they're deserved, T-Town. Screwed that one up. Justin Wright going to check in for Nick Livingston. S picks up his third foul.
It's rough and tumble underneath there, John, and Justin Wright and Brandon Odom and Will Kettlecamp are all in there.
The lob to the free throw line to Weber. Weber wants them to clear out. They get it to Jordan Hardick, fresh into the game. Here's Wormert with it now. They might hold for the last shot, down by 3 with 30 seconds. To Dries, the lefty. To Smith now. The crowd's getting into it. 23 seconds left to go in the third. Wormert with it. They want to find Weber. He wants it down low. He's on the left block working against Kettlecamp. Wormert going to take a 3-ball. It's good, nothing but net. Tie ball game. Wormert has 6 and a foul called on Wormert. Or I'm sorry, that foul call is going to be on Hardick, his second.
Evan Wormert just hit a big 3 for T-Town to tie the score. 6'2" sophomore, good-looking player.
40-40 your score. Taylorville has 7.3 to get something going. It's the Livingstons, Jace Bergschneider, Ryan S., and Will Kettlecamp. Here comes Bergschneider. Leaves it for Kettlecamp. He throws it up left-handed, can't get it to go. Never seen a hook shot from behind the 3-point arc, but hey, it almost dropped.
That probably wasn't the shot Coach Brown wanted, but it almost went in.
We're going to take a break here on News Talk WTIM 40-40, fourth quarter when we get back on News Talk. Back here for your fourth quarter of action here on News Talk WTIM. Bruce, we are right back where we started, and the fans that made it out to the game, they're really getting a treat.
Correct, and Jace Bergschneider came out and scored 8 big points there in the third quarter. Where for T-Town, Weber scored 6, and Weber and Smith have 30 of their 40 points.
S taken out of bounds in front of us. Gonna get it into Jace Bergschneider. Fourth quarter is underway, folks. Whoever wins this quarter wins the game. We're notched up at 40. Here's Will Kettlecamp at the top, over to Bergschneider on the right side. Jack Livingston gonna take a deep 3, plenty of contact, no foul call and no good on the shot. Jack Livingston wanted 3 free throws, doesn't get it. Mid-range jumper up, no good. Rebounded by Nick Livingston off his head, then off the arms of Ryan S. out of bounds. Hardick missed that shot. Justin Wright and Brandon Odom check in for Taylorville. Nick Livingston and Ryan S. both sit down. Bruce, are we expecting offense for defense subs the whole fourth quarter for Taylorville? Can they do that?
I don't know if they will or not. Probably just with the ball underneath the basket, they wanted to put their better defensive players on.
They find Weber down low somehow.
Clint Weber's a handful underneath there, John.
He's got 21. Here's Bergschneider settling things down. Justin Wright on the right wing. Odom up top. Finds a cutting Justin Wright. Out to Will Kettlecamp. Cross court to Bergschneider. Shot fake from 3. There's a foul call on Ungrid. And didn't even. Not going to comment on the fans' commentary. Foul called on Ungrid. Nick Livingston and Ryan S. checked back into the game. Gotta love the zebras in the stands. S thought about the 3-point shot, steps in. Will Kettlecamp at the free throw line now, gives it out to Jace Bergschneider. He spins down the lane, in trouble. Finds Nick Livingston, he'll take a 3-ball. It rounds home! Nick has 11. 43-42, Taylorville up by 1. Drew Smith gets the bounce pass from Ungrid. Back to Ungrid. Now to Smith on the left side. To Ungrid, back on the right. To Hardick, up to Ungren. He's going to take a floater. Oh, Nick Livingston picks up the foul. That's his fourth. And folks, you can't really blame the officiating for that one way or the other. That one was the one that was a foul. 4 on Nick. Brandon Odom will check back in. Ungrid knocks in the free throw. He's got 3. Second free throw up. And that one's home as well for 4. Bergschneider with it, joined on the floor by S. Leaves it for Ryan. You don't want to leave him open from deep. He connects. Nothing but net. Ryan S. He's got 11. Taylorville's lead is 2. Wormer, cross-court pass to Smith. Back to Wormer. He'll take a shot. Contested. Rims out. Rebounded by Jack Livingston. Bounce pass to Odom. To Ryan S. now. Gives it to Bergschneider, and they'll slow it up. Nope, Bergschneider going to the hole off the glass, no good. Kettlecamp tries to save it, and it falls in the hands of Ungren.
Clint Weber and Dawson Smith both altered that shot.
Ungren gets away with dragging the foot, tries to draw contact, no good. And who's the foul on? It's going to be on Ungren. Okay, I thought they were going to put that on Ryan S.
That's just the 5th foul on T-Town. But it is the 4th on Luke Ungren.
He picks up his 4th. The 5'10" junior has one more left to play with. He heads to the bench. Bergschneider with it now. Got to get it across half court before that 10 count. Probably just barely beats that one. He waves off Will Kettlecamp's screen. Kettlecamp comes instead. Odom with it on the right wing. He wants Jack Livingston to cut. Over to Ryan S. on the left side. Here's Bergschneider. Outside the volleyball line, just inside the tornado. Slowing things up with 5:20 left to go. Kettlecamp with it. Jack Livingston now up top to Ryan S. on the left wing. I don't think he's going to have too much airspace the rest of the game, Bruce. The fan starting the count instead of the official. That was a carry on Chase Bergschneider. I don't know if it was as much as a carry as much as it was a double dribble, but something looked funky there.
Palming, but I look like double dribble, John.
Anytime it looks that funky, you're going to get called for a turnover.
Yep.
Justin Wright checks in for Jack Livingston. Taylorville up by 2 with 5 minutes left to go. Here in the 4th, here's Smith with the inbounds pass from Wormer. Coach Brown starts clapping his hands, gets the crowd into it. Smith to Wormer in the left corner. He pinned that one up against his ribs. He's open for 3. It rims out, no good. Justin Wright with the board. He's being harassed, and a foul call. Hey, how about that? I don't know if I saw a foul call there, but maybe he thought Taylorville was good for a make good. I think that's Wormer picks up the foul. He does, just his first.
It looks like Coach Brown is going offense or defense. He's been lucky that there's been a lot of dead balls on alternating possessions.
Jack Livingston into the game now. Bergschneider across half court. Finds Will Kettlecamp on the left wing. Outside the three-point arc, not really his game. Brandon Odom cuts. Jack Livingston gets the ball on the left wing. Here's Bergschneider coming down the lane. Will Kettlecamp finds Bergschneider again. He stole that pass away from S. Confusion on the offensive end. Odom gets it to Will Kettlecamp. He's working down low. Up off the left side, no good. Contested by Wormert. Here's Dries with it now to Smith. They lob it down low to Weber. Up and in for 2. We got a tie ball game, folks. Weber with 23. 46 apiece for T-Ville and T-Town. 4 minutes left to go in the 4th.
And Weber has 23.
Weber does have half their points, Bruce. Here's Jace. Mid-range jumper off the glass for 2. He's got 12. Taylorville back up by 2. Smith with it. That's in the hands now of Hardick. Cross-court pass, saved from going out of bounds, but it lands on the baseline. Taylorville forces the turnover. Nick Livingston will check in offense for defense. Odom knows he's heading to the bench. 3:30 left to go here in the final quarter of action. Nick Livingston actually grabs Will Kettlecamp. I guess it's his turn for a breather. S with it now. Gets it across half court. Shovels it off to Jace Bergschneider. Spins, baseline, up off the glass for 2. And they're going to call him for a travel. Jace Bergschneider runs the fingers through his hair, doesn't like it. S asking, how's that a travel? The referee shook his head.
Jace is trying to do a little bit too much now. He's got to let the game come to him. He's doing an excellent job, but that time he should have probably tried to dish it out.
Jack Livingston and Ryan S. both sit down. Justin Wright and Brandon Odom back into action, or Will Kettlecamp rather. Smith back and forth between he and a travel called on Werber. I don't know that I saw that travel either. What the Sam heck is going on here? The whistles were completely swallowed for the first 3 quarters, but they've since been regurgitated, and now they're out for the 4th. That looked like a pretty safe jump stop.
Two big turnovers, one on each team, so no harm, no foul there, John.
Bergschneider gets the ball from Nick Livingston. Taylorville with a 2-point lead with 3 minutes left to go. Excellent pass from Brandon to Jace, but Jace can't complete the free throw. Jace might have been surprised that ball was in his hands. Here's Smith with it now from Wormert. Back to Wormert now up top. See if they try to get Weber down on the block. Odom playing defense. Wormert with it. He gets it out to Hardick. Over to Dries, to Hardick, to Wormert, back to Hardick on the left wing. Wormert thought about the pass to Smith, holds on to it. Over to Dries now on the left side. Smith, and a timeout will be called. Timeout called by T-Town. Love to see the official make a call if we could. 2.5 left to go in the 4th quarter. Bruce, Taylorville clinging to a 2-point lead. And my goodness, this 4th quarter, let alone, I mean, the entire game has been exciting with the 4th quarter. This one's going to come down to the wire.
Right, both Livingstons have each hit a 3 this quarter and given us a 2-point lead. T-Town's got to get the ball into Weber, and Ryan S., Will Kettlecamp, Brandon Odom, and Justin Wright are all doing a great job defensively on him underneath. But he is a load underneath there, John.
23 points, and if I'm not mistaken, Bruce, all of them coming inside the paint or from the free throw line.
Correct. He had 13 in the first half and 10 in the second half. And Taylor's been doing a good job of not letting him get the ball.
So what is the game plan then? Is that they're trying to just keep the ball by all means, whatever it takes, don't let Weber get the ball on the block?
There's been quite a few dead balls. I mean, either fouls or turnovers, and it's given Coach a chance to play offense, defense. Usually in the flow of the game, there's not that many dead balls, but in this 4th quarter there has been, and given Coach Brown the chance to play offense and defense.
Ungren will take the ball out of bounds. He's got 4 fouls and as many points. Get it in bounds to Smith. On the floor for Taylorville, it's Justin Wright, Jace Bergschneider, Nick Livingston, Nick Livingston, Will Kettlecamp, and Brandon Odom. Wormert in the corner on the left side. Up top to Smith. Finds Hardick now to Ungren. To Smith on the left corner, left wing rather. Up top, Ungren thought about the 3. Smith will take the left wing 3. It's good. He's got 14, and T-Town has a 1-point lead. Timeout, Tornadoes.
They worked it around, kept looking for Weber. We kept sagging back, and finally Dawson Smith hits a big 3 and gives T-Town a 1-point lead.
Just going to be a 30-second timeout here for Taylorville. We'll keep it here. We want to mention Milling Millwork Contracting Incorporated, a proud sponsor of the Taylorville Tornadoes, located at 405 West Main Cross in Taylorville, where they are fully insured and bonded. Bruce also has your player of the game in the News Talk WTIN postgame show. That's presented by Doug McKinney at Country Financial, where they grow with you. So, Bruce, you definitely don't want Weber to beat you, but also Smith is no slouch himself. We saw that 3-ball made by him to give T-Town the 1-point lead. Are you at all surprised that they're not sagging off of Ungren? Again, he's got the 4 fouls, the 4 points. You would assume he's not going to be too comfortable trying to drive the lane. You don't want to draw that 5th on the chart.
Well, what's happening is T-Town is putting Smith and Weber on the same side. So if they sag back in, he just gets the ball back to Smith, and Smith hit the 3 there. Jack
Livingston gets the inbounds pass from Ryan S., who gets it to Odom, now to Bergschneider. 1:50 left to go here in the 4th quarter. Taylorville down by 1 with the ball. Jace Bergschneider killing clock, between the legs dribble, trying to get to the rim. He does, and it is blocked by Weber. Coming out to guard Smith. They get it to Dries. To Smith, loses it, but swats it to Ungren. Ungren swinging the arms, calls timeout in a panic, and with 90 seconds left to go, it will be T-Town's ball. Justin Wright and
Taylorville's really playing intensified defense there and almost caused an over and back charge.
Justin Wright and Will Kettlecamp will check in after the timeout. And Bruce, you mentioned the intensity on defense. On offense, Bergsteiner got what he wanted. He got it to the hole.
He got to the basket, but with whoever Weber's guarding is not an offensive threat, so he come over and either alters the shot or blocked that one. The Taylorville crowd wanted goaltending, but he got that on the way up. And we got a minute and a half left, John.
90 seconds to go. We'll see who breaks this huddle for both teams. It's going to be Smith, Ungren, Wermert, Weber, as well as Hardick. So the starting five for the Wooden Shoes. Odom, Kettlecamp, Justin Wright, Nick Livingston, and Jace Bergsteiner, your five for the Tornadoes. Interesting, Nick out on the floor. He's got 4 fouls, 1 more, and his night is done. It's in the backcourt. Wermert with it now to Smith. Gets it across, and it goes through the hands. Oh, nice hands, feet. If you're Mitch Hardick, Taylorville gets the ball. Ryan S. and Jack Livingston check into the game immediately. So it's S, Nick Livingston, Jack Livingston, Brandon Odom, and Jace Bergsteiner. My goodness, if you're Mitch Hardick, best he can do is hit you between the numbers like he did right there. Got out of the way through the hands. S with the ball now. Guarded by Ungren. Odom had an open three, realizes that's not his shot. Gets it to Nick Livingston. Screen from Jack to Ryan S. now. Thought about a deep three. Head fakes on it. Odom, he's thinking about it. To S. He's got an open shot. Oh, rims out. Rebounded, though, by Bergsteiner. Should have been over the back. Nick Livingston's three ball. It's gone! Nick Livingston with 14 and no three bigger than that. Taylorville up by 2 with 50 seconds left to go, Bruce.
Big rebound by Jace Bergsteiner, though, on the missed shot by Ryan S. It come out a little bit long, and Jace grabbed the rebound.
A big shot by the senior Nick Livingston, a full timeout called by the Wooden Shoes. We're going to keep it right here. Bruce, the one thing you don't want to see is the crowd start to die down here for Taylorville, especially defensively. They've been feeding off this home crowd.
Again, it's another dead ball timeout, so Taylorville will have a chance to get their defensive team back in there.
Again, we'll expect to see Brandon Odom, Justin Wright, Will Kettlecamp, Jace Bergsteiner, and one of the Livingstons. Will you be surprised if you see Nick out there on the court with his 4 fouls? I know last time out of the timeout, it was Nick.
Right. Now, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Nick's got to seem to have the hot hand here, and he scored that big basket, so I'd keep him in the game.
Nick Livingston has 14 points to lead the way for the Tornadoes, and we said it here, folks, none bigger than the last 3 he hit. My goodness, the senior battling foul trouble all night and finds a way to knock one home.
Taylorville has 2 timeouts left when Teutopolis just has 1, and the crowd is going wild.
Goosebumps here at the Dolph. Taylorville faithful on their feet. Coach Brown gets them up and cheering. And we're ready to go for the final 50 seconds of this game. If you are Taylorville, Bruce, you cannot foul. 1 and 1 the rest of the way for both teams. Here's Smith with it. Gets it across half court to Ungren. Back to Smith. Double team coming from Wright. And Livingston, now it's just Wright. Bergsteiner comes out to help. They find Hardick. Brown wanted to travel. Wermert thought about the 3 ball. 25 ticks left to go in the game. Taylorville up by 2. Wermert gets it back from Hardick. They're trying to find Smith at the free throw line. Ungren with it. 15 to go. It's on the floor. Last touch by Nick Livingston. So out of bounds to T-Ville, or to T-Town rather. And a timeout will be taken by T-Town. Up or down by 2. 14 exactly left on the clock. We've got an exciting finish here for you on News Talk WTIM. Bruce, again, it cannot be stressed enough. No fouls to give if you're Taylorville. That's the last thing you want to do is pick up a cheap one, or is that your game plan? Send them to the free throw line for a 1-on-1. Try to get the rebound if they don't make them both, or if they do, you get the ball back on offense.
No, I don't think you want to foul here. They did a great job of keeping Weber under control in the fourth quarter. He got 2 early baskets, but I look for Smith and Weber to work the ball in, and I hope that we, rather than give up a 3 to Dawson Smith, that we let Weber work inside. Hopefully he'll miss. We grab the rebound and run the clock out and go away with our 20th victory of the year.
You know Weber is going to be taking the last shot, more than likely. No timeouts for T-Town the rest of the way. Taylorville still has 2, if I'm not mistaken. The crowd getting into it. The bench pumping up Taylorville's fan section. T-Town getting into it as well. 14 seconds will decide this game. Taylorville with a 2-point lead. Justin Wright, Nick Livingston, Brandon Odom, Jace Bergschneider, and Will Kettlekamp, your 5 for Taylorville. Here's Smith. Cross-court pass, open 3 for Ungren. It's good! He connects. Nick Ungren has not hit a shot the entire game, and then finds a way.
Luke Ungren hits a big 3.
Now, folks, keep in mind, there is still 6.1, and Taylorville will get the ball at half court, or at least they should. 6 point, we're not going NBA rules, apparently. Well, in the NBA, they get it at half court. They'll take it length of the court, 6.1. And again, now if you're T-Town, you can't foul because you'll send someone to the free throw line for a 1-on-1.
You just got to play straight up defense. I look for Jace to get the ball, probably take it to the basket, and he'll either draw a foul, put it up. I'm sure Weber will be there to alter the shot, so this is what Jace Bergschneider is here to play for us.
The real question for you, Bruce, is which officiating crew we're going to get. The first 3 quarters where they let him play, or the fourth quarter where if you play too tight at defense full court, we could get a foul 75 feet from the bucket.
I think they'll let him play. I don't think the officials want to make a call in the last 6 seconds. You know, in the NFC Championship game a week ago, the referees put their whistles in their pocket, and my LA Rams are going to the Super Bowl, John.
Anybody streaming this game in New Orleans, I apologize for Bruce bringing up that sore spot. Too soon, Bruce, too soon. S takes it out of bounds, needs to get it in, finds Jack Livingston, back to Ryan S. Outlet pass to Jace Bergschneider. He's on the floor, throws it up, and they don't get a shot up. Coach Brown and the officials just run off the floor. No explanation, you gotta be kidding me. At least be a man and explain yourself. That game ends 52-51. Final buzzer sounds, Taylorville drops this one at home. Hoping to get Coach Brown's thoughts in the post-game show here on News Talk WTIM. Bruce, your thoughts there on that final sequence?
It was a good play. I honestly thought Jace lost his footing, and like I said, in the last 6 seconds, the referee's not going to call a foul unless it's very obvious. I know Coach Brown thought it was a foul, and then it looked like to me Ryan S. was trying to call timeout when Jace was on the ground, and really the official didn't see it.
I will say this, because Ryan S. did call that timeout right next to the official. What I believe happened was Bergschneider, as soon as he hit the ground, I think he panicked a little bit, not realizing how much time was on the clock. He actually threw it up towards the rim from the seat of his pants, so then S. couldn't call the timeout.
Couldn't call timeout. The official, he could have called it, but the official would not grant it to him, John. And so I honestly thought the officials did a good job. And, you know, hey, it was a good, hard-fought game by both teams. I wish Taylorville would have come away with a victory. And we played Tuesday night at Rochester.
Hey, we've got the News Talk WTIM postgame show coming up for you in 60 seconds. News Talk WTIM postgame show. A heartbreaker for Taylorville, 52-51. They fall by 1 at home. They are now 12-2 at home, and they are now 19-3 on the season. A tough game both ways. Not really a real scoring recap we can get into because there was no real runs either way. Taylorville's biggest lead was 4 in the fourth quarter. And as for T-Town, their biggest lead was 6. They had that lead in the first quarter, and as well, they had that lead there for a little bit in the third as well. Taylorville battled back. I thought they had it down the home stretch. Down by 2. T-Town hit a 3-point shot. Luke Ungren had 7 points, all 5 of those 7 rather coming in the fourth quarter. And I said it also earlier in the game. I said if there's someone you want to shoot the ball to have beat you, I'm going to put my money on Luke Ungren to miss the shot. I don't want Dawson Smith taking it. I sure as heck don't want Evan Wormert shooting the 3. You maybe could have looked at Mitch Hardick as not being a shooter, but Clint Weber, absolutely, you don't want him to catch it on the block. So 52-51, Taylorville falls here at home in a tough-fought game where neither team the whole time got to a 10-point advantage. Again, biggest lead for T-Town was 6 in the first quarter and then in the third quarter as well. And the biggest lead for Taylorville was 4. They had that lead in the fourth. And Bruce, I got to be honest, when Nick Livingston hit that 3 to make it 51-49, I thought that might have been the straw that breaks the camel's back. That was a demoralizing shot for T-Town to have to witness. But hats off, tip of the cap to the Wooden Shoes. That's why they're the 3rd best team in the state for 2A schools. Right. They had an answer.
And like I said, Luke Ungren, an unsung hero, stepped up and hit the big 3. Taylorville was doing a great job in guarding Clint Weber. He had already had 23 points. And with Dawson Smith, their other big gun, with 14, somebody had to step up, and the 6-foot junior stepped up and hit the 3. Taylorville did have 6 seconds left, ran a good play. Jace either lost his footing, may have been fouled. But in the last 4 seconds of the game, most times the official is not going to bail a team out on that. Ryan S. heads up play, tried to call timeout. Whether the official thought Jason shot the ball already or did not see him. But it's one of them. It's a hard-fought game. One of the teams had to win, one had to lose. And right now, Taylorville took a loss, and just their 3rd loss of the year.
Taylorville head coach Ryan Brown looks like he's going to try to join us on the News Talk WTIM postgame show. Bruce got to hand him the mic. Coach Brown, appreciate you stopping by to see us. Yep. Obviously not the result you wanted, but a heck of a game for you guys. I mean, I know being down by 3 at the half. What was it you said to your team? Because other than the Lincoln game, I can't remember you guys going into a halftime break on the losing side.
Yeah, we were down there at Effingham, I think, but we just had to have our defense come around. 30 points is a lot. We've been doing a much better job on defense than what we were showing there. They were getting just too many easy looks inside and just beating us up, inside of 5 feet, which, hey, that's what they're supposed to be doing. But, we stepped up the defense, and that gave us a chance to win.
Well, especially in the second half, it seemed like the crowd was more into it as well. Did the defense feed off that? I know I saw you on the sideline as well as the bench as well, pumping up the crowd, really helping feed the energy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was our best crowd of the season. We hope we get another crowd like that. We got 4 games to go, and we hope we continue to get that support. That was a lot of fun tonight.
Take us through that last play. Again, 6.1 on the clock. You've got to go 94 feet to get something going towards the rim. Obviously, Jace Bergschneider is the bread and butter of this team, the go-to guy. What was drawn up there on the sideline in that timeout?
Well, yeah, we were trying to get Jace loose off a screen and see if we can get him going downhill. We ended up getting it, just in not quite the way we drew it up, but we got Jace loose coming down the floor, and I mean that's what you want in that situation with that score and down 1. You like Jace taking a layup or trying to get a foul in there.
Absolutely, Coach Brown. Appreciate you stopping by.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Again, that's head coach Ryan Brown of the Taylorville Tornadoes here on the News Talk WTIM postgame show. We're going to keep it right here, and we're going to go ahead and jump into Bruce's player of the game, as long as you're ready, Bruce, or do I need to buy you some time here?
No, I'm ready.
All right, without further ado, then, let's get to your Doug McKinney Country Financial Agent player of the game, announced in the News Talk WTIM postgame show. Doug McKinney at Country Financial, where they grow with you. Bruce, which Tornado is your player of the game?
A difficult decision. Nick Livingston came out and hit 3 threes in the fourth quarter, including the big one to put us up 2. But tonight's player of the game is going to be Jace Berksnyder. He scored 10 points in the second half, continually took the ball to the hoop and dished back out for open threes for Nick and Jack, and almost would have won it with a bucket there at the end. And so Jace Berksnyder is going to be the player of the game.
Again, that's your Doug McKinney Country Financial Agent player of the game. Announcing the News Talk WTIM postgame show, Nick Livingston, your player of the game this evening. Before we let you go, we want to mention Milling Millwork Contracting Incorporated, a proud sponsor of the Taylorville Tornadoes, located at 405 West Main Cross in Taylorville, where they are fully insured and bonded. Before we let you go, also, let's go through some stats for Taylorville. They were led by Nick Livingston with his 14 points. Jace had 12, 11 for Ryan S. And then let's see, 5 for Jack Livingston. Will Kettlecamp with 2 off the bench for Justin Wright, and 5 off the bench for Brandon Odom. For the Wooden Shoes, they were led by Clint Weber with his 23 points. Dawson Smith had 14, 7 for Luke Ungren, including that big 3-point shot to really secure the game, or to give the 1-point lead to the Wooden Shoes. Evan Wormert had 6. Mitch Hardick started but did not score, and then 2 off the bench from Jordan Hardick. Evan Addis and Lucas Dries also saw action, but neither one scored. Folks, that does it for us here on News Talk WTIM. Join us again at Rochester when the Tornadoes make the trip up 29. I know we had the Route 29 Rumble on the gridiron. We'll see if they have the same mentality on the basketball court. I'm John Bowen. You're listening to News Talk WTIM.